What happens when a child is given everything except the strength to survive hard times? What happens when wealth disappears, but the habits created by wealth remain? Can a mother's love repair the wounds caused by years of mistakes, or can regret arrive too late? Some stories are not just stories. They are warnings. They are mirrors. They are lessons written with tears. Before we begin this emotional journey, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Elvis the Great for more powerful and inspiring stories. Your support helps us bring more life-changing stories to people around the world. There was once a young man named Ethan. Ethan was born into a family that seemed blessed beyond imagination. His mother, Victoria, was one of the most successful businesswomen in the country. She owned companies, luxurious homes, expensive cars, and investments worth millions. People admired her. People respected her. People wanted to be like her. Ethan and his younger sister, Grace, grew up surrounded by luxury. They attended the best schools, wore the finest clothes, and never had to worry about where their next meal would come from. Every wish was granted. Every desire was fulfilled. Life felt perfect. But life has a way of changing when people least expect it. One year, a series of business failures struck Victoria's empire. Trusted partners betrayed her. Investments collapsed. Debts grew larger every day. Within a short period, the family lost almost everything. The mansions were sold. The luxury cars disappeared. The servants left. The wealth that once made them famous vanished like morning mist under the sun. For the first time in their lives, they tasted poverty. Victoria tried her best to remain strong. Grace accepted the situation. Though she missed their old life, she understood that complaining would not change anything. She helped her mother with small jobs, focused on her studies, and encouraged her mother whenever she felt hopeless. But Ethan was different. The new reality felt like a prison to him. He could not understand why life had changed so suddenly. Every day, he remembered the expensive lifestyle he once enjoyed. Every day, he compared his present life to his past. And every comparison filled him with anger. Soon, Ethan began spending time with the wrong people. People who encouraged reckless behavior. People who told him that life was unfair. People who fed his bitterness instead of helping him heal. His attitude changed. He became disrespectful. He argued constantly. He ignored advice. He pushed away everyone who genuinely cared about him. The more people tried to help him, the further he drifted away. Eventually, relatives stopped visiting. Neighbors avoided him. Friends disappeared. Even his own home became a place of constant conflict. Victoria, already struggling with the pain of losing her fortune, became increasingly strict and impatient. Instead of understanding Ethan's emotional struggles, she responded mostly with anger. Years of spoiling her children during wealth had left them unprepared for hardship. Now, when Ethan needed guidance the most, neither he nor his mother knew how to bridge the growing distance between them. The house became filled with silence. Painful silence. Dangerous silence. The kind of silence that hides tears no one sees. One evening, Ethan returned home after being away for several days. He looked exhausted. His eyes were tired. His spirit seemed broken. Grace noticed immediately. Without saying much, she quietly prepared a meal for her brother. She placed it before him with kindness. For a brief moment, it seemed like a small act of love might heal an old wound. But before Ethan could eat, Victoria's frustration exploded once again. An argument started. Harsh words were spoken. The meal was removed. The room fell silent. No one knew that this ordinary moment would become a memory they would carry forever. That night, Ethan sat alone. He thought about the life he had lost. He thought about the mistakes he had made. He thought about the people who no longer wanted him around. Most of all, he thought about how hopeless everything felt. The weight of disappointment became too much for him to bear. And in a heartbreaking moment, Ethan made a tragic decision that could never be undone. The next morning, the family was shattered by grief. Victoria's cries echoed through the house. Grace fell to her knees in tears. The young man they loved was gone. Suddenly, the arguments no longer mattered. The mistakes no longer mattered. The anger no longer mattered. All that remained was regret. Victoria held her son's photograph close to her chest and wept. If only I had listened more. If only I had understood his pain. If only I had been patient. But the saddest words in life are often, if only. Days became months. Months became years. Life continued even though their hearts never fully healed. Grace carried her brother's memory with her everywhere she went. Instead of giving up, she used the pain as motivation. She studied harder than ever before. She worked tirelessly. She refused to let her family's story end in tragedy. Eventually, Grace gained admission into a prestigious university. She graduated with honors. She built successful businesses. Step by step, she restored the family's reputation and wealth. Years later, she became one of the most successful women in the country. The family was financially strong again. The houses returned. The businesses returned. The success returned. But there was one thing that never returned. Ethan. No amount of money could bring him back. No level of success could replace his laughter. No achievement could erase the memories of what happened. Sometimes, during family gatherings, Victoria would sit quietly and stare at the empty chair that should have belonged to her son. The wealth had returned. But the wound remained. And every success carried a silent reminder of the price they had paid. So tell me, what is the value of money if love is missing? What is the value of success if understanding is absent? How many broken hearts are hiding behind smiles, waiting for someone to truly listen? And how many lives could be changed if we chose patience instead of anger, understanding instead of judgment, and love instead of pride? Because sometimes the people who seem difficult are not asking for punishment. Sometimes they are simply asking for help. And sometimes, by the time we realize it, the opportunity is gone forever. Please share your thoughts and subscribe for more amazing stories like this.